Hello and welcome back into the Knicks-Verse. My name is George, and hey, if this is your first time here, please subscribe, turn on the notification bells, and thumbs ups are very much appreciated. All right, well, this is officially 2021-22 NBA season has begun. Last night, the Bucks took care of business against the Suns. Congratulations to them. Congratulations to the Suns. CP3 for making it to the finals finally, and for Giannis delivering on the promise of what your special talents indicated for quite a while. Defensive Player of the Year, MVP, now Finals MVP. Congratulations. Gotta say, can't wait for the day that I'll be talking about the Knicks doing it. Because I know we root for our teams obviously we want our teams to win, and they represent who we are. And it's fun to have a communal experience where you triumph over your opponents. And there's nothing like being the team that won the last game of the season. And man, shout out to you, Ron, man, do we want that for the Knicks. Now, is it going to happen next season? Most likely not. Vegas has tremendously low odds, which of course, or high odds, should we say, and it's certain that that's what it should be, because next season I think it's going to be even harder to get through. I believe getting past, getting a fourth seed next season is going to be very, very difficult. So I think it's interesting what's happened right now. And if we think about where we are right now, season ended, draft is within 8 days, and then the free agent season begins afterwards. So someone is on the clock. Mr. Leon Rose. Leon the Clock. Yes. Oh man, one thing I have to tell you about agents, the one thing that they love most in the world, more than their families even, are their phones and making deals. Now, Leon's not an agent anymore, but he can still work those phones and make those deals for the Knicks. And that's what's happened. And when we think back, Leon's more, we gotta kind of congratulate him more on what he hasn't done as opposed to what he's done. He didn't blow the team up. He actually went with the squad, basically, that he picked up, added some nice pieces to it, and he wanted to see if by creating a winning culture through coaches, through development staff, through his analytics department, if it would result in wins. And it did. Congratulations to you, Leon, for that. At the trade deadline, you could have made a deal or two. You could have brought in a Fournier, Norman Powell. Who knows? Maybe we might have gotten past the Hawks. It was hard to judge at the time. I mean, we definitely not having Mitch Robinson crippled us. And it would have been interesting. It would have been kind of I don't know if you can make a deal to replace Robinson at the time. I don't even know who was available, really, that would have made that much of an impact. So basically what we're at now is, you're looking at a situation where you have to decide whether you're going to use the cap space that you have now or not. Well, a report came out from our man Ian Begley of SNY, and he reported that the Knicks could possibly, they're looking at, as to about a month ago, here, I'll read it out to you. I got the article here. As recently as last month, a source said the Knicks have talked internally about the possibility of holding enough cap space this summer for 2022 and keeping enough money around to be able to go after a max player in that 2022 class, which should include Zach Lavine and Bradley Beal. Okay, this is basically the run it back scenario, but with a clear objective and hoarding that cap space. So what does that mean in terms of any free agents this season that are available? I think it probably most likely means that they might bring back a few players on 1-year deals or 1 year and a club option. Maybe bring back a Reggie Bullock. Who knows? Even maybe an Alec Burks, and then keep that cap space available for next season. Not have anyone sign for long contracts. However, you never know. They may want to kind of do a hybrid situation where they spend a little bit of money, but they keep a lot of the other money on 1-year contracts. So it's going to be interesting. I think it's a smart move, honestly. I really do. We're right now we have 2 draft picks, and in my opinion, it's a deep draft. I believe that the Knicks, and I put out the video yesterday about the Knicks looking to trade up they've already isolated a target in the low teens, and any of the guys that I put on the list would be awesome. Would be nice gets for the Knicks. Of the 4, Davion Mitchell, Corey Kispert, Book Knight, and Moses Moody. And I'll even throw in Sharif Cooper in that, though I'm not sure he's rising up. I'm not sure where his situation is, but I know the Knicks have a lot of interest in him. So they're kicking the tires. They're kicking the tires on everything right now, which is the way you got to do it. But the clock is ticking. At some point, they're going to have to do something. So we're going to find out. It's exciting. The next 8 days. What are these Knicks going to do? What's Leon Rose going to do? All right. Well, I'm coming on record right now to say that based upon what the front office has done and hasn't done, I will trust in whatever moves they actually end up making. I believe that they're going to make the best possible move for the moment and the situation, with also keeping in mind that the way that we're going to get that ring, that way that we're going to get that championship in New York with the Knicks, is through a combination of growing the value of the assets that we have and keeping cap space available to just basically buy the best free agent on the market at the time. See, right now we're stuck. Right now our assets don't have enough value yet, and the free agent class isn't that great right now for 2021. So pulling the trigger on the Dame Lillard and then signing someone is not going to put us in a situation to do what the Bucks have done this season. So this is the smart move. I'm going on record saying this is the smart play. Now, how that ends up manifesting itself, we're going to see. It's going to be fascinating. But let's take a look at the 2022 free agent class. This is not everybody. Just assembled, some of the juiciest names. So here we have, unrestricted, nice list. Zach Lavine, Bradley Beal, Harden, Durant, Steph Curry, Chris Paul, if he ends up opting in to his deal with the Suns, which I can actually see that happening. Now I can see it happening. He opts in with the understanding that next season, he can always sign with another club, whichever club is actually in a better position to win. Kyrie Irving, Jimmy Butler, which that's a very interesting name because of our coach, and Kawhi Leonard. Now, Kawhi, who knows what's going to happen with him? That's why I put him last on the list. Now, restricted free agents, that's a tremendous class too. Look at Luka, Jaren Jackson Jr., Trae Young, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, love him. Michael Porter Jr., love him too. Kevin Huerter, Mikal Bridges, Colin Sexton, DeAndre Ayton. Look at those. Now, most of those guys, they're going to end up getting deals. There's no way Luka goes free agent. There's no way Trae does. I mean, we'll see. But there's a few names on there that might. So it's interesting. So look at that. Do you see any number ones on this list? I do. I see several. I see a plethora of number ones, which we can't say that about this season. In fact, there are, other than Chris Paul and Kawhi Leonard, there are no other number one free agents available, which is why this is a smart move. If if they continue. Now, the report was, they said as recently as a month ago, so it's back in June. You never know. Things change. Things can change. So we'll see. But if they are keeping with that strategy, then this is why. You can see. I would love, I mean, look, the top two on the list to me are the ones that make the most sense. They bring you scoring. We won't have to give up assets for them. That's the situation I love. I think they would fit well with Randall and RJ, either of those two. Oh man, that'd be sweet. Now, of course, Steph Curry is he's my favorite player. If the Knicks can somehow pull that off, woohoo, more power to them. Oh man. All right, and the Nets, and here's the other reason why. We see these Nets, the three Nets on there. That's part of the problem. Next season, they're going to be playing for the Nets, for Brooklyn. And, they're right now the favorites to win it all, according to Vegas. And you know what? If they're healthy, I got to say, and if maybe they can add another piece, defensive piece. Maybe if they can find a PJ Tucker, then maybe I think they'll probably have a really good chance to win it all. Or at least to get to the finals from the East, to dethrone the Bucks. So now, what are we going to do about this season, though? What are we going to do about the money we have now? Let's look at the 2021 free agent maybes. All right, let's look at it here. First on the list, Danny Green. Now, this list is not in any particular order. I just threw the names on here by their category. This is unrestricted with player option on the left, and on the right is the restricted with the club option. So Danny Green, JJ Redick, those are guys that you might be able to get for a nice big balloon payment, which I don't even care the amount that we give them for this upcoming season, as long as it doesn't eat away to the cap space for next season. I'm sure that's the logic that the Knicks are thinking about right now. But guys like DeMar DeRozan could be another guy like that. Lowry, that might be a 2 plus, a 2 for $50 million. So maybe they are on the books next season. So that might be a problem. Same with Mike Conley. I really should even just take him off this list because he's going to, I feel like he's going to re-sign with the Utah. Dinwiddie, that's another one. Maybe we get Dinwiddie. Say, hey, look, come here. Show us what you got for one season. We'll give you, $18 million for one season, to see what he's got. Will Barton is probably going to look for at least a 3-year, maybe, potentially. But he's another one guy. Maybe, I'm not sure what his going rate is right now. But you know what I'm saying? I want to keep guys that, if you can get them in like anywhere from 12 to 15 million a year per, and they're really high quality players, then maybe you keep them around. What about the restricted list? The restricted list is tricky, obviously for obvious reasons. Lonzo's on there just because, I always got to throw him on every list. But look, Malik Monk, he might be an interesting guy. Throw a nice contract at him. The Hornets don't match. Same with Devontae Graham. You never know. They're stuck. They have a lot of players that they have to take care of. So that could be interesting. Diallo is another guy. Duncan Robinson, I put out a video about him. It would be, we'd have to go spend some bucks on him. But the Knicks might feel he's worth it. So we'll see. There's reports out there. They might be able to figure out a way to sign him and figure out a way to keep cap space open for next season at the same time, or maneuver it so that by the time next free agent season comes around, they do have an available, 35 million plus available. Iguodala, he could be a guy that we bring in for a 1 year, though I doubt that. But Justice Winslow, and there's several other guys in this realm. So let's just give you a taste of what's possible for the Knicks to do. I am very excited about this approach. I think that the Knicks are going to be able to score in the draft, and we have our guys. I mean, RJ could make that next leap. He could be knocking on the door of an all-star selection possibly, or at least get in the conversation for next season if he keeps trending upward the way he has been. Same for Julius. Maybe he's able to first of all cut down on the turnovers and finish at the rim in the high frequency that he used to do. So we know it's in his bag. He's just got to find it. He's got to find it in his bag. All right. Well, thanks so much for watching this. Again, any thoughts and comments, please drop them. Love hearing everybody's thoughts on it. Please subscribe, thumbs ups, turn on the notification bell, and more videos to come. The clock is ticking on Mr. Rose, and I'm excited to see what he's going to do. All right. Thanks so much, and I'll see you around the Knicks-Verse.